Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another random time.
I'm like, what time is it?
Wild and wacky chit chats with the twins. I am Krista.
And I'm Kara.
It's 10:35.
Yeah.
Cool. I had no idea. We're just like, let's just go outside and see where the yard takes us. And so we might be a little shady. But man, does it feel good in the sunshine.
It does.
So how's everybody doing today? Let's see. Louie's on here. Oh, I never brought...
I guess I could share us out.
I never brought my iPad to see if we're getting any comments.
We're a little...
Your phone is blinding my eye. Oh, we can't see comments anyways. OMG, twice.
Yay.
Aw, nice to see you, Louie.
I don't feel like sharing it out. We'll do it after.
Yeah, exactly. I know I see Janet there, and I'm not sure who the other person I see is.
Good
there's
morning,
a lot of you
good
coming
morning.
on. So we called this week's episode, Are Your Problems Actually Yours? What? So 99.999999999% of all of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions do not belong to us. And yes, you've heard this before here from us. It's from Access Consciousness. And yes, it may be annoying, but really, do you truly acknowledge that 99.999% of everything that you perceive, that you think about, that you feel in your body is actually not yours?
Looks warmer than this morning.
So much warmer. I was wearing my ski pants.
The sun is so warm.
Yeah.
The wind is still chilly, but...
Yeah, totally.
And so with that, like, I truly recommend one of the greatest and simplest tools that most of us don't want to believe can just be that simple as, who does this belong to?
Like, actually.
For everything. For absolutely everything.
So how do you do that? You just ask. So, like, this morning, and very interesting after talking to Kara, that around the same time we both experienced, Kara and I actually quit drinking booze just about 2 years ago, actually.
Yeah,
almost exactly. Maybe
2 years coming soon.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, whenever you have an all of a sudden thing coming over you, who does this belong to? But all of a sudden, I just was like, felt super nauseated, stomach ache, headache. I felt like I was gonna puke. I said to Tyler, I was just like, I feel like I'm so hungover right now. And then I was like, oh, who does this belong to? Is this mine? So you simply ask, is this mine? And you will get either a sense of expansion or a sense of heaviness. And if it's heavy, it's a lie. It's not yours. So then you can ask, is this someone else's? Yes or no? What awareness do you get? And you'll know. And if you're going in your head and you're just like, well, I don't know.
It's a game of trust. Awareness is lightning fast. So if you go, after you ask, is this mine? If you go any more than a couple seconds, you're now into your head and out of your awareness.
And you're playing little head games with yourself. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yes, you do. And when you say, I don't know, you're actually hiring in demons to come in and do a job for you to keep you average, normal, and real like everybody else, so that you can't claim, own, and acknowledge who you truly be and the choices that you truly can have.
And so back to Krista feeling hungover. When I got here, I walked over here just now and laughed when she told me that, because I too have been feeling hungover, and I can tell you straight away, I do not miss having hangovers at all. I woke up every single morning on this past weekend feeling hungover, and then today I woke up feeling normal, and then around 9 o'clock I all of a sudden was like headache, stomach ache, uneasy that feeling of being hungover. So it's very, very interesting.
So interesting. Good morning, Erin.
Good morning. Yeah, it does feel like summer this morning.
So with that, like, okay, so I feel hungover. So is this mine? No.
Well, the great thing if you don't drink anymore.
You know that. Like that, you know for sure. You might start head tripping yourself and be like, oh, am I getting sick? Or like, am I getting a flu bug? Do I have COVID? You know, you could go down that path, or you could be like, this all of a sudden came out of the blue from nowhere. Is this mine? No. Okay. Is it someone else's? So you might be aware of somebody with a body having a hangover. Or you might be aware of somebody without a body. So this is where some of you might think this conversation's getting a little weird. But just picture this. Picture someone dying while on drugs or alcohol. And drugs can be all of the prescription drugs out there too. So we're looking at most people that die with some sort of drug or alcohol in their body. And so when they do and they stick around, they're like this being without a body that's like seeking like that fix from the drugs or alcohol. And then you come along as this totally energetic being who's like this sponge for
picking up energy,
99% of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you automatically go to, I'm hungover, I feel like crap, you know, and that like goes beyond like the hangover talk. It goes beyond all of that and onto every
It's just
thought,
interesting because like we've been playing with this for quite a long time, and like you get certain places like, oh, I got a headache, return to sender, blah blah blah, but then as you continue to play with them, it opens up all sorts of areas in your life that you never looked at before. And for us, it's all of a sudden all of this alcohol awareness is coming in, and it's very interesting.
It is very interesting, and it makes me even go back looking at the days where I was drinking excessively and blacking out and passing out, and it's like, I never once considered that maybe none of that was ever mine. Like, I just was like, no, I've got a problem. I can't stop myself. You know, like, this is never going to change. This was never going to change. And it wasn't until Kara and I in 2019 started using a question from Access Consciousness with a Access Consciousness facilitator, Crystal Crawford, which was, what would it take for me to be willing to live the energy that I would like my life to be, so that it can show up for me in totality, and anything that doesn't allow that, all of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that I'm using to absolutely refuse and reject my life, I now destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So all of a sudden, we're like aware of a different energy, aware of an energy that feels lighter in our worlds, happier, more expansive, and you start following that, and all of a sudden it's like, it was just so easy actually to quit drinking. Like, it was really joy and glory.
It was strangely easy, to be quite honest, for someone who, like, honest to God, blacked out like at least 2 nights a week, at least. And like waking up on the couch every morning, like, what the hell happened last night? To the simplicity that it honestly was. I mean, there was a couple rough weeks when you first,
Absolutely.
I mean, the transition, you're obviously you're making a huge change,
Yeah.
but when you really look at it all, the simplicity of it is very interesting.
Well, and I always kind of wondered, you know, it's like you felt like you're just kind of making it up, and that it wasn't as bad as it was, and it wasn't as traumatizing as it was. It's like, well, it couldn't have been, because other people don't have an easy time with it. Well, all of a sudden today, it's like this awareness that it's like, well, because it was never mine. And so then that significance just went away, and all of the places where you're like, well, it can't be easy, and this is going to be a lifetime dedication to fixing my problems and not like falling back into my problems, and it's going to be this continuous work, and it just wasn't that for either of us.
It was more becoming more and more aware of, truly, without even realizing it so much, but who does this belong to?
Exactly.
It sounds insane. It sounds crazy.
Let's see. Oh, crap. Missed a couple messages here. Aaron says, I wonder if you two share thoughts, feelings, and emotions a little because you're twins. Has that been a thing? Well, I think that's really true of anyone that you're hanging around, like your kids, your partner, your coworkers. Like you are that aware with all of the people that you're close to and all the people that you're not. So even half the thoughts, feelings, and emotions I assume are my kids or my husband, like, could have nothing. It could be someone across the world.
Yeah.
Like, and you just assume because you picked up that thought, feeling, and emotion while you were, say, talking to someone else or being around someone, and then you just assume, well, it has something to do with that. That part doesn't even matter, which is like the coolest part, because it's just like, is this mine? Yes or no? Is this someone else's? Yes or no? Does this person have a body? Yes or no? Is it something else's? Is it the planet? You know?
And I think where people get stuck the most in any problem is diving into the why. Why did I choose this? Why is this happening? Why? And the
why is the lie?
Why is the lie? Don't even worry about why. You chose it because you chose it because you chose it. And now what can you choose?
Exactly so. And Laverne says, I have heard many times alcoholism is a spiritual disease. Makes sense to me. Makes sense. And Cindy says, so wonderful when we turn on the I'm good enough switch. And Aaron says, doesn't even matter whose it is or why, I like it. Simpler. Just
it
so much simpler.
Always truly just comes down to the simplest of tools. And it's really just a matter of practicing that new muscle. We're not taught for things to be that way.
we're supposed to have problems.
That's look for the problem, fix the problem, solve the problem, find new problems.
Well, and that makes you relatable to other people, right? And like that's sometimes the hardest part for us is we're like, well, if I don't have problems, how will I fit in? How will I relate to other people? What will I even talk with about other people? So we're just like, well, there must be a reason, like it can't be that easy. I have this problem because it runs in my family, because, I have an addictive personality, or that's just the way things, like all the reasons, stories, justifications.
Oh, hi, Dave.
None of it's real. And Mr. Dave Scott, welcome to the show. So yeah, like just stay in question all the time. And whether it's alcohol related, drug related, pain related, emotional stuff related, like you are aware of energy. And if you don't think you're aware of energy, I ask you to stop right now and imagine when you walk into, like, say, a really busy room, like even say like in a restaurant or in a school or in a mall. How aware do you become of the energy that's happening in each of those places? Like you either feel excited and expansive, or you might just get this sense of like heaviness and people fighting. Like, when people, like when there is like intensity going on between two people, like you're like, whew, can't hide that, even though there's no words. There might be some body language, but you can tell when there's like some major uncomfortableness going on.
Versus you're in a stadium full of people watching some sporting event, and the team that you are cheering for scores and the crowd goes wild. You feel that in your body, like you are aware of that energy.
And so you are so aware, and you can't get rid of your awareness. And lots of times we just don't even want to know what we're aware of, because it would be too much for us. It would make us stand out too much and be weird. But it's like, even though you try to cut off your awareness does not go away. And so if you're trying to cut off your awareness, everything just gets more intense, which leads to so much like body pain.
Yeah, I'd say, which like literally hurts your body when all of a sudden you're getting all these aches and pains. It's your body being like, hey, pay attention.
Exactly, which leads to disease and like suicidal thoughts and mental health issues and like crippling diseases, just because you're not willing to be aware of what you're aware of. So anywhere that you're pretending not to know what you truly do know, will you destroy and uncreate all of that times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyond.
You know, that's what we're about we're almost 2/3 through our journey of 30 days connecting to the unseen world. And it has been such a gift to me, because I'm realizing how many spaces I realize I have been aware, but then I like discount it because it doesn't fit in. It's not what everybody's doing. You can't talk about it to everybody. But it's like, the more you realize it and the more you become aware of all of that, there's like so much magic all around us.
And it can feel overwhelming, and it can make you really react to it, because you don't want to admit that you've been choosing what you've been choosing.
Yes,
just because you've been choosing it. So you don't even want to look at it, because you're like, I would never do something like that to self-sabotage myself. So like, if there's any little area where you're feeling like resistive to any of this conversation, what are you aware of? Like, truth. What are you aware of with the choices you've been making? And if you didn't have to resist and react to them because you first aligned and agreed to what you're resisting and reacting to, what else would be truly possible? And anything that brings up times a gazillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So if anyone is new to watching this is the clearing from Access Consciousness, the clearing statement. And so that's all that weird sounding stuff. Anything that brings up times a gazillion, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. It's like this massive clearing statement that anytime we have all these points of views in front of us, you say the clearing statement and it just gets rid of it.
Because everything is energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our feelings are energy. Our emotions are energy. Our points of view, everything is energy. So it just like dissipates that energy.
It's like cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear, delete, cancel, clear, delete, so that you can just get rid of all this rubbish that's just like crowding your world and your mind, and like putting up these walls and these barriers around you so that you can't truly be you, so that you just stay like everybody else. And it's like, but if you desire something greater, and you know that there's more than meets the eye, and you know that you have other choices, but you just don't even know how, you just have to start asking questions like, who does this belong to? That is like the best, easiest way to just like dissolve all the problems you think are real to you.
And so since we both have feelings of hangovers today, I do encourage you, like, I feel like we got to talk about this, but if you are one of those people that it's like, I just don't, like, for me, it was like, I never knew, I couldn't just have one. And it was just like, then I would sneak, we by the end, we were buying boxes of wine because it was great. We had titanium wine glasses. You couldn't see how much you were drinking.
No one could judge you.
No one could judge
yourself.
you. Yeah, we were just the sneakiest people on the planet. Anyway, but it was such a feeling of like, I can't stop. I just got to have another one. I just got to have another one. I just got to have another one. And that's why it usually ended up in drinking until you pass out or just blackout. But who does that belong to? Is it actually yours? Is a great question.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the moments of drinking, but ponder it before the fact.
And here's a little awesome little tidbit of information that we received from Access Consciousness and Talk to the Entities, actually, which is a class of Access Consciousness that's all about the unseen world. Is if you find yourself judging yourself and putting yourself down, listen to the words that you're hearing in your head. Because if you're hearing, like, you're such a loser, you're a failure, here you are drinking
You're
again.
such a bad person.
Yeah, if it's you, that, like, you're saying you to yourself.
If you're hearing you in your head.
It ain't you. It's these, like, entities, these drug and alcohol entities, and they're just like,
You should have another drink.
Yes.
You should have another drink.
Yes. If you're saying, I wish I wouldn't do this, or whatever.
If you're hearing I, it's you. If you're hearing you, it's not you.
So just pay attention to that. Like, because the first time I ever heard that,
I resisted it big time.
And
It
then
made
when
me
you
mad.
caught yourself hearing
Then
that
you start-
conversation.
then you slow down and like really get present with what is going on in your crazy head, and it's like, holy shit,
Who does this belong to?
Yeah.
I just assumed this was always me. But what if it's not? And what if it can be that simple? Like, I truly wonder, and it's just really interesting, like, that we both were perceiving this. So I just wonder how many people out there need to hear this today about, like,
and I know because I can hear it coming up, is like that who does this belong to? Return it to sender. Oh, that's such a cop out. Oh,
Yeah.
you're just throwing all your problems away. But it's like, is there actually a problem?
and is it more fun? Like, if it's more fun to own these problems, then that's one thing. But if you're just, like, not willing to see that it can be that easy, just try it out. Just play with this. And Access Consciousness has a Who Does This Belong To app. We've brought it up several times and it works, and it doesn't work until it does. It's one of those things
This
that
is
you
broken. This is stupid. And then it's like, oh, I get it.
and you'll get it when you get it. And until then, like, just keep using different tools and find the one that works for you, because there's so many
Because know
different
that
things.
there's nothing wrong with you. That's the thing. We just love to automatically assume.
I'm
to
broken.
everything that comes up, every thought, feeling, emotion, we always just assume it's ours and that there's something wrong with us.
And we just were never taught that we could be any other
Have
way.
a choice to greater, right?
And I even see that with, like, my kids. Like, I'll say that to them, and even at the age they are so young, they like, don't always believe it can be that easy. And so then it's just not, and it's like, no wonder we've lived lifetime after lifetime of judging ourselves and making ourselves wrong and having problems and fixing problems and doing over being, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and then if I don't get it done, then I gotta beat myself up over it. And it's like, well, what if you could just be the energy of being, like the energy of the lightness you desire in your life, like the energy of what just makes you feel happy, like this sun shining on my skin right now.
Hi, Miss Janet.
Hi, Janet.
So we're almost done, and I thought, since we're continuing on down the little rabbit hole, we could do some clearing of drugs and alcohol energies. Really.
Sure.
So if you guys want,
I do.
and before I continue with that, though, I also want to say that drugs and alcohol energy isn't just drugs and alcohol. It's addiction. What are you addicted to? I'm addicted to being an asshole to myself.
Yeah.
So every time you judge yourself, that's a drug and alcohol energy as well. It's not just drugs and alcohol. Judgment is an addiction.
Absolutely.
So with that, if you want, tune into your body. And then tune into the room that you're in. And actually just move your energy so you are as big as your house or the structure that you're in. And all of the drugs and alcohol, energies and entities in your house, dissipate and release all the drugs and alcohol, energies and entities that have been inculcated into the molecular structure of your home and your body. Oh, everything that is times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And so even just saying that one time, maybe or maybe not, but you might have felt like just a shift. So dissipate and release all the drugs and alcohol, energies and entities that have been inculcated into the molecular structure of your house and your body. Will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And now tuning into all of the beings without bodies who are looking for a drug and alcohol fix. Dissipate and release all the drugs and alcohol from your universe and system. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
And they're not more powerful than you. You are the most dominant energy and entity in your world. So all of the oaths, vows, fealties, communities, commitments, and binding and bonding contracts that you have made to any drug and alcohol entities in this lifetime or any other lifetime, will you now revoke, recant, rescind, or claim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all times a gazillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond.
And a little hot tip for the next time you go out to have some drinks, because we're not saying drinking is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that it is what if it is possible that beings without bodies are looking to catch a buzz off of your night out drinking? And so
you should have a drink.
I do invite you to be aware of that, and also say, hey, all of the entities around me looking for a buzz, this is my body and you're not welcome, so go look for somebody else.
Yeah, get the hell out of here
and just see what happens.
Exactly. So, so like, even if it seems like all just crazy, if this is new to you and you're just like,
what the
flabbergasted,
hell are you guys talking about?
just start playing with it. Little baby steps. Just take one thing that you got out of this and just dare to ask. Yeah. Actually, even just to ask yourself, like, if you're being a certain way, if you're acting like you're just like, you know, when you're just like, I don't know who I was being there. Well, who did it belong to?
Was it actually you?
Like, and just be like curious. What is it? Like, what is this that's going on? Like, all of a sudden I just feel terrible, or I'm worried about something, or I'm like in my head and paranoid about something.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm an energetic sponge.
And 99% of it doesn't actually belong to me. So who does this belong to?
Who does it belong to?
And simplify your life. Don't go into all of the distractions about, oh, it's this person's, and therefore I must figure out how I can help them and how this can change, and I will take it on for them so that they don't have to deal with that anymore, and blah, 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 blah. Getting in this like hamster wheel of distractions.
Why is a lie? Why is a lie?
So let's just go ahead and bypass that step and just be like, return to sender with full consciousness attached. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So please play with this. And we actually are starting in less than a week our new question that's going to be all about choice, making new choices, and
reaching into a different reality.
So if you're not already in our private group, La Resistance, we'll put the link here, and we meet every day for about 30 minutes, and we say whatever question we're working with that will create change in our world. This one happens to be about choice. We'll say it 30 times a day for 30 days, and it just starts to shift and change and transform and clear all sorts of things in your world. So if you're feeling brave, and if you're looking for a little bit of action in your life and a little bit of being over doing, come and play with us and play with the energy of choosing.
Yes. Just might change your life.
Just might change your life. So thank you for joining us for another week of Wild and Wacky Chit Chats with the twins.
Have an awesome day.
Yeah, enjoy the sunshine. Bye-bye.